It was on a dark winter night in central Italy that a group of expert GI rock climbers fixed ropes to the side of this mountain, scaled this ridge in absolute silence, and dealt defeat to the Germans who'd been waiting on top. The 10th Mountain Division, fresh from the States and new to combat, had done what others before had for months been unable to do. German field commanders, startled by the speed with which the outfit climbed and moved, called it America's elite mountain division. American commanders noted the compliment and then chose the 10th to spearhead the final push through the German lines. The story of that last assault in Italy is the subject of this film. It will be told by Italian citizens Angelo Maldini, Maria Morotti, and through the personal views and recollections of those who served at the front.
My name is Bill Putnam. I was a lieutenant with the 85th.
My name is Franz Hubel. I was a German soldier with a heavy artillery unit in Italy.
My name is Ben Bush. I was a sergeant with the 86th.
My name is Horst
Kugelmeier. During the Second World War, I was a corporal with the Mountain Division in Italy.
My name is William J. Moran. I was the division chaplain.
I am Hans George Hildebrand. I was a German general in northern Italy at the end of the war.
My name is George P. Hayes. I was the commanding general of the 10th Mountain Division.
This is part 2 of The Climb to Glory, a combined German, American, and Italian account of the combat record of one of America's most unusual fighting outfits, the Army's 10th Mountain Division. As the last traces of the snows of '44 vanished from the Italian soil, the 10th Mountain Division prepared to move north to break through the rest of the German Apennine defense line. One of its immediate objectives was the once quiet town of Castel. Innkeeper Angelo Maldini lives there today.
The story of the 10th American Mountain Division in Castelliano, it began on March the 3rd, 1945.
There are many people at Castelliano who remember that day. The American 10th Mountain Division could be seen coming through the valley. They had two objectives. Looking south on the right, the town of Castelliano, and on the left, Monte della Spey. The Germans were well entrenched. They were ready for them.
We had 8 months of front lines. In those 8 months, they tore down all the houses at Casteldiano. There wasn't one covered. There were also some dead. And then the Germans took from the houses all they could take. But when the Americans arrived, they gave us things to eat. And, well, we lived a little better.
Castelldiano, once again, was secure and was given back to its own people. 3 days after the battle started, Monte della Spey was also secure. Some never knew the name of the place. They were left behind in the stillness that enveloped that mountain town.
It was a bloody battle. The people here were glad when it was over. But the sadness that all wars bring can still be felt in these hills.
The division paused to wait for its supply lines to catch up. and the men prepared for the next offensive. During this relative respite from battle, routine patrolling continued.
The 10th Mountain Division will attack from positions on Mount Delos Bay. The 85th Mountain Infantry will be on the left, the 87th on the right. The 86th Mountain Infantry will mop up the right half of the objective assigned to the 87th.
This is what some men saw from their positions. Veterans of the campaign will remember that distant peak as the Rocca Rufino and the lump to its left as the ridge of Mount Pigna. Held by the Germans, it marked the last major defense of their once touted Gothic Line. Mount Pigna, too sheer to climb, would have to be captured at night from behind. This was done in a matter of hours. Rufino would have to be taken head-on by day.
Rocca Rufino's attack began very early in the morning at dawn. And we were starting from a high ridge, looking down a valley. We weren't to start until after all the preparations had been readied, so that we had a beautiful view in a beautiful day, bathed in sunlight, of the valley, the mountain, and everything around it. This was in the spring, and we were waiting for the beginning of the air attack. Before long, the planes came overhead, and it was a pleasure to see them diving down toward the mountain. And as they screamed down the mountain and turned on their way up, you'd see a release of flame that would reach almost to the sky. A napalm bomb released. The fire lasts a long time because of the jelly that spreads along the mountains. And the rate of burning seemed to be terrific. Everything seemed to be in flame. And as plane after plane peeled down, let go its bomb, and more flame reached up in the sky, it seemed as if nothing that was alive could ever survive that fire. And when everything had been finished and everything had been done, and there seemed nothing more for us to do than just walk over. Just walk over leisurely and take the ground, and it was ours. Then everything came right back at us. Everything and more.
Once again, silence surrounded the valley as the 10th moved out. And the Germans watched them come. And they wondered how this elite division would ever cross this open terrain and climb to this incredible height.
20 Meter zu kurz. 20 Meter zu kurz, Herr Hauptmann. Zu weit. 10 Meter zurück und feuern. Und noch 5 zurück. Und nochmal. Und nochmal.
Few people will remember the name of this mountain hamlet below the Rocca Rufino. But it's where a number of Americans discovered that there were a number of Germans who were unwilling to throw in the towel.